I've had people overpay me. And welcome back, Firewood Addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. Today, I got an update for you. Alright, so here's what's left of the Fruitwood. Got a pile here, bucked up, shorter lengths, one wheelbarrow full, shorter lengths, two over there, bunch of cookies all over the place here, shorter lengths here, some cookies, shorter lengths, shorter lengths, shorter lengths. So everything is bucked up, nothing long, and I did on the ground. I will do an episode of me using the Champion to do what I mentioned the other episode I did the other day of putting the branch or the log, the small log, into the wedge perpendicular, and then using a saw to cut it to length, and then from there doing that so you're up off the ground and not have to fiddle with that type of wood. So what I would do is I would split with the Champion and have a row of like a whole lined up of like wheelbarrows, as well as my Kubota trailer loaded up with firewood. I would throw like in one wheelbarrow all cookies, like this one here, all cookies, little chunks, and the other wheelbarrows would be for a regular length. And then when those are all full, I would stop splitting, and then I would go stack it. Or if I wanted to keep going, I had more wood on the table, I would throw it all in this pile. I have this pile of fruit wood that's ready to go, ready to get stacked. And I'll show you my stack in a little minute, but here's what I have right now that is processed, ready to be stacked, and rock and roll. So I wanted to highlight real quick, one of my, I guess, neighbors is a guy that lives in my community, and he has one of those trash debris removal services. He has several trucks, and several trailers. Anyway, he accumulates random things, then he'll go off and from his work, and then he will resell them or offer that for free. Well, he had several wheelbarrows up for grabs, and they were cheap. They're like 20 bucks a piece. So I got two of these, one here and one that's in my house with firewood, and they're usable. I mean, the handles of wood are kind of like worn. There's not a lot of rust in the bottom here. Come to find out, they're like a lighter duty, but wheelbarrows are key in terms of firewood. I think you can never have enough. I have several, now I have two more. I'm just saying is that when you need more equipment or tools for your wood yard, you don't always need brand new. You can find new stuff for cheap, and they'll get you by, especially if you're on a budget, especially if you're selling firewood and whatever you buy cuts into your profit margins. Anyway, so I got a few more wheelbarrows that you'll see in the wood yard. In here is what I have cut, split, and stacked thus far of the fruit wood. So this is gonna be cherry, plum, and I think apple. In here is the balance of that load of maple logs that I got, and according to the guy, and I got it from Daniel Atkins, usually the trailer loads that he drops are between 2 and 2.5 cords, or will yield between 2 and 2.5 cords. Well, I made that cord for my parents, and then I didn't have any more maple really left. Like this is, I have like maybe like that section there up there is maple, but the rest of this is all fruit wood in here. So not the prettiest of cuts and splits. It definitely grew twisted, but some good solid wood. I need to get it out drying as fast as possible. I have a lot of wood in my yard to process, but at least now it is stacked, it is drying, and I have a lot more to process and stack. But this is going to be good for in not the fall but the winter for myself, as well as for my sauna guy who I've turned on to harder woods. And then I have a bunch of offcuts and cookies and mango pieces that of fruit wood and other maple and other wood that will stack up here, and this will be the first wood that I will start to burn into for my personal use in the fall. So it's an update on the fruit wood, but that's not what I want to talk to you about today. let me walk up to the firewood stand. So en route to the firewood stand at the front of my property, we have the cedar that I got from my cedar guy here. Yep, a bunch of sticks and stuff. And I got the wood that we got from the buyer a few, like last week or so. And I've been slowly, you can see over here, I've been slowly processing this with an axe, little by little. Little by little, I was trying to keep it stacked because I had some of this stuff, I measured it and it was at like 22, 25% as I just split it. I'm like, that's okay. And then a guy messaged me saying, hey, I want some wood. And I was like, well, I don't have any. Well, wait, I have this wood and it's at this percentage. He's like, okay, I'll take it. So I brought him, so I collected a cage of shorty cuts, like this size here. But then as I was processing this, I was gonna split it up with an axe and put it in the cage, right? And I wasn't gonna film it. But some of this wood here is too wet. So I was able to, around the yard and in my stuff, figure out a cage for the guy, enough where he was content. So that was one sale that I did yesterday. And that went well and I didn't film it, but just wanted to, I'm still eating away at this process, but I wanted to get the fruit wood done and out of my hair in the backyard because that obviously takes longer to dry. So anyway, that's an update on this wood. But anyway, I digress, back to the episode. Bags. Bags. I love them. You all saw the bag episode. And as I mentioned, I'm charging $1 more. Now I contacted my logo guy and he's aware that I need to adjust this because this is just like an Amazon bag that I cut and taped on here, and this is marker. It does not look very good. Does not look with the whole professional ensemble of the firewood stand. I think having the firewood stand or having a firewood stand look professional is key to have people take it seriously, want to come back and actually pay versus taking and not paying and piecing out. Anyway, so we got this success towel here, and let's talk about that. Well, I figure if I would be talking about bags, I might as well make a few for you. So, one of the points I wanted to mention, and I don't want to deter anyone from using firewood bags or bags for kindling. I still think they're awesome, but the issue is one of the issues is I have found is the cost of the bags. Okay. And since I'm not commercial, I'm not selling in bulk, I can't just eat the cost. The cost is going to be included in the new price of what I'm selling, which are these firewood bags, right? So at my firewood stand, I've been selling firewood bundles, 1 cubic foot of the firewood for $5, okay? And a one roll of wrap would bundle, I don't know how many, like 100 or so. So it didn't make any sense to calculate how many wraps or rolls I would use per bundle times that by whatever. It's just a headache. So I never calculated the cost of wrap into my bundles, okay? My bags, I figured, like I mentioned in the other episode, bags are about $1 a piece of how I buy them, right? So when I'm selling bags, I have upped it from $5 a bundle to now $6 a bag. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but my prices at the firewood stand have not changed since I started. And I started like several years ago, and the prices haven't changed. What I sell and how I sell has changed a little bit, but the prices really have not changed. And for bundles, definitely not. Yes, maybe my costs have increased, but I wanted to keep it as fair and as easy as possible because the amounts are very round numbers. Selling a bundle of wood for $5, selling a rack of wood for $20, selling a bonfire rack for $30, selling kindling for both $5 and $10. They're very easy numbers, and they coincide with our denominations of currency. Whereas if now I am selling bags of firewood for $6, that's not a common number that people have. Now, I have offered Venmo, as I mentioned before, that people can use Venmo to pay me, and that seems to work out fine. Well, not everyone has a Venmo account, and I'm not going to go into like PayPal or Zelle or other programs. Is it easier to stick with one e-payment system and call that good? Because this is a side hustle, you know? So the issue is, what I'm saying is, and it's not in terms of me, it's the customer end. I've had people overpay me because they don't have the exact change. They have 5s, they have 10s, maybe 20s, but they don't have 1s. I've had people pay me in coins, so I don't really want coins, but at least they attempted, or they did pay the amount owed for the firewood that they grabbed from the fire stand, and that's great. I'm not complaining, but I still don't. Yeah, change is change. Money is money. It all buys stuff, right? So because people come to my stand, and sometimes I don't know them. They just come to the stand, they grab their wood, they pay, and they go, and I never meet them. I can never put a name to a face. I can never put a name to a vehicle. They're just in my tracking system. They're titled anonymous, a gray truck or gray Dodge whatever vehicle. So I don't really know them. So when I see them in my cameras and they pay for firewood, I know how much they took, but it's more than, but they paid for more than what they took. So and then I do the calculation of what they took, and it comes out to be, they took several firewood bags, did not have the exact change, so they paid me more. So I'm not complaining they paid me more, so I guess that would be a tip, but I feel bad that they did so. So they pay more than what they got in terms of firewood, and I have not been cheated yet. Like they took 2 bags of firewood, which would be $12, and I only got paid $10. That has not happened yet, knock on wood. So people are being honest, but they're not getting change, which I feel bad about, because not everyone can afford a few bags of firewood and not get exact change back, etc. And you'd have to buy several bags to make it work out to be an even number, like if you bought 5 bags, for example, right? But not everyone needs 5 bags of firewood. They need like 1 or 2 type thing. So I feel bad about that, having to raise the prices and then have people not have the exact change to pay for several bags of firewood. But I don't feel too bad, but because at the row side of my stand / at the first side of my stand, I do have business cards. On there I have my phone number. People can text me, and I'm usually home because I work from my home office, right? So I'm usually home, and if people are out there getting firewood and they need change, they could see the business card, look at it, see my number, text me and say, hey, are you home? I need some change. And I would gladly come out, or I would say, okay, your name is so-and-so, I'll have you down in my records. I will discount you next time you come around type thing. So I think that would work out, but people have not done that. The people have not reached out saying, hey, I need exact change. You're not here, what do I do type thing. So I'm not quite sure what to do with that. Another issue, or I guess concern or question, or that I'm cheating someone, it came from my recent bag episode of why I'm charging for bags if people end up returning them. Well, I'm not sure how or why that's hard to understand. Not everyone returns the bags. So, but if you do return the bags, then you get $1 off your purchase. I mean, I haven't had the I haven't had to pay people money for bags. I think they understood it as like they get a discount next time they come, and that has been the case. In fact, I did that yesterday, type thing. But if people don't return the bags, why should I charge them for 5 when the bag the bag of firewood is 6, and there's no guarantees I'll get that bag returned. So anyway, I mean, maybe I'm overthinking this. Am I way off in that logic or in the calculation? Because I can't predict people's actions, if they're going to come back anytime soon or not. They're going to come back Thursday at noon with the bags to return and get a discount. I don't know. So anyway, so that's why I charge. And if you come back with the bags, you get a discount. So that's why I do charge at 6. And again, I do have customers who do still want bundles. They don't want to mess with the bags at all. And I still have the ability to make bundles for people. I have and do before. It's just I prefer bags. It's just a lot easier, smoother, faster, in my opinion, and they look better. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we'll be doing from now on. And so far, it's working out great. I'm still uncertain if I need to like stuff these full or give a little bit of room. I had first, and someone I saw my camera the other day. I don't know their name. I don't think I've met them before, but they're in like an off-green newer Tundra. I saw them in my cameras, and they bought me out. They bought the whole stand out, right? See, yeah. So this is why I don't fill them full, because then I can't get the sled out. So there's that balance. Make sure that the people get their money's worth, but this is not as much work as it should be. And if it's full, then they can't get the wood out without having to mess up the bag. All right, so got that out. So that's easier to come out. So now that's not too bad. I'll just take a smaller piece. There we go. It's always good to have different sized wood that you can put in the bags, and that seems to be fine. Anyway, okay. So what I was saying is, so let me know if I'm not making sense, if it's not clear or logical that I charge 6 because the bags cost $1 each, and the cost goes on to the customer. But if you return the bags, you get $1 off each bag your next purchase, and that's when you get the discount as opposed to charging 5, because there's no guarantees that people will return the bags and the state that can reuse them. So does it make sense? I don't know. You let me know down in the comments. Oh no, sorry. Back to my story. Sorry, I got sidetracked. My story of the guy was buying firewood, and he bought out the whole firewood stand, and he literally went to the back of his truck and emptied out 4 bags of firewood into his truck, emptied them out, and then put the bag in the return bucket. So, and I think that he already automatically included that return fee in what he gave me in cash. I couldn't tell how many $5 bundles of kindling that he took or he grabbed. But anyway, so that's that story. But my question was, can you think of any way to make it more obvious or better for people to return the bags? It's not that big a deal. I don't bang on people returning them. It's a blessing when they do, and I appreciate that, and they get compensated for returning the bags. But in terms of like to urge people to do so, making it easier to without having to cause a headache, and I hope that makes sense. I still like bags. I'm not complaining about bags. I'm not complaining about the company who I bought the bags from, but there is issues with it, and maybe headaches that I did not foresee when contemplating and planning to segue to using bags. That's just my interpretation there. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you, some insights on thus far on bags. I found that people have, if they don't have exact change, they overpay me, which I guess is their problem and not really mine, but I still feel bad. Confusion on why I'm charging for bags, and if people are maybe less likely to return bags for whatever reason, they feel that it's not needed, or it's not possible, or how to get people to do so. I have had people return bags without any incentive. They just do it automatically because they have no use for the bag, so they want to return it so I can reuse them, because they don't say onions on them. The bags say firewood, so they really can't use it for really anything else. I guess I could, but I can't think of anything. But yeah, just an update on bags. Just wanted to share that with you. If you have any insight, please let me know, or comments or suggestions, or maybe more questions on how I'm doing with bags and how they're working out for me. So I think so far so good. I'm still working through a shortage of firewood, and that's totally my fault. But I have wood in the yard, but obviously it's not seasoned yet, so I can't sell it. But anyway, pardon me if I'm kind of all over the place. I went to bed at like midnight and woke up at 5 because I was working on a project. So forgive me if I'm like, woo. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until next time, remember, life is short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll. Stay safe, you can. Cheers.